Hi you guys, welcome back to Inside the Hem. As you guys know, I am always on the look for ways where we can get a better fit in our sewing. I have reviewed quite a few videos on this channel already, and they've all given me good results, but not without a lot of work. So when Wildebloom, a new pattern company that actually has built-in software that does all of your pattern alterations for you, when they reached out to me, I knew I had to give it a try. All you have to do is choose the pattern you want, plug in your measurements, alter little details like the neckline and the hem length, and it drafts the pattern for you. Wildebloom agreed to sponsor this video so that I could show you guys exactly how it works. So today I'm going to walk you through how the software works while I create my own version of their Catherine Sheath Dress sewing pattern. Then I'm going to sew up a muslin so we can see how it really works, like what the fit is really like. Let's dive in and see what this thing can really do.
All right, so I am going to be making the Catherine Sheath Dress. This one to me is a lot like a sloper, so I am eager to just get something that fits pretty close to my body, ignoring kind of all design ease and having something that I can hack later. So once you get this, you can either download it in your size using their measurement chart, and then you just get a traditional pattern that you would have to make alterations to, or you can tailor online. When you load the tailoring software, you're going to get this avatar. This avatar is the pattern pieces, front and back, and then as you change the adjustments, as you move the slider, the avatar adjusts as well. So you can, if you have a little bit of experience with sewing and sewing pattern alterations, you can kind of do a little bit of cross-checking, common sense, like, does that look right? That seems weird. You know what I mean? So let's get started customizing mine. All right, and after I put in all my measurements, you can see how the avatar has adjusted all of those measurements to give me these pattern pieces. Now, using some reasoning here, and because I have made patterns before where I've taken certain adjustments, I can see things are looking honestly very promising here because number one, this being at a curve like that is going to basically do what a quote unquote sway back adjustment would do, which I know that I need. And the fact that we have 4 darts across the back and they're rather long also makes sense to me. Things that are a little bit different that I've not ever done in a pattern before is make the front darts so teeny tiny. I appreciate that I need some there, but I'm used to taking like standard dart sizes in the front and then maybe not so standard in the back. I don't know. This would be something new to me for sure. I also am assuming that they have done some sort of full seat adjustment here. You can't really see it on the avatar, but I know that I need that. So hopefully that is also being done. I'm assuming that if you need full bust adjustments, when you put in your circumference, you accommodate for just the front of the pattern and you do all those length adjustments, it's going to know if you need a full bust adjustment or not. Okay, so once you get all that done, now you can actually play with the design a little bit, which I think is so fun. So for this, it's sleeveless, so there's not an actual sleeve design, but you can adjust the shape of the arm opening. So I could do a square armhole, we could do one that's angled, or we could just do the traditional curved one. So I'm going to leave that there. Regards to the pencil skirt, all you can really adjust for is the length. And because I'm just making a muslin, I am going to make the length kind of short, just because I don't want to waste all that fabric. But as you can see, as you adjust it, it just makes the skirt shorter and shorter. It doesn't do anything to the bodice at all. Okay, and then for the neckline, you can change it from a V-neck to all of these. So we can do a scoop neck. We can do a square neck. And then all of these as well. Okay, and then you can also, let's leave mine as a V-neck. You can also change the back neckline to those same things. So you could do a V in the front and a V in the back. I'm going to leave mine as a scoop. The neckline width is going to be the opening. See how I guess technically the straps are getting narrower and narrower as you go. Cute. Okay, so I'm going to leave mine, what was it, 6? Yeah, whatever the standard one was. And then you can also give yourself a deeper neckline if you want. So we could go all the way to the belly button. And remember, this is being adjusted for my measurements. It already knows the length from my high point shoulder to my bust point. If this is longer than that, then yes, it will dip down below that. I'm going to put mine somewhere relatively modest, but not like choking me. All right, let's go with something like that. All right, so now avatar looks good. I've put in all my measurements. I've adjusted the design. Now we are ready to download. You click the download, it prepares the download for you, and then you go to wherever your downloads live, and you will see the Wildebloom Catherine pattern, the date. This will come in as a zip file. You open up the zip file and you get these files in the zip. So these are going to be your instructions. They have some links for tutorials on how to achieve certain skills. And then they will tell you the construction. Now, you're probably noticing, especially if you're a beginner, that these instructions are not very extensive. Some of you will appreciate that, especially if you've been sewing for a minute. For example, when I am going to sew this pattern, I'm not even probably going to refer to the instructions. I already know what to do. But if you need just some guidance on the order of operations, that's what you're going to get here. What you're not going to get are lengthy paragraphs about how to sew a dart, for example. Instead, you will come up here and you will go to how to sew darts, or you will reference whatever tutorial you like for sewing darts. Okay, so those are the instructions. And then you also get in the zip file your base pattern in an SVG file. Now, this is what if you wanted to put it into Illustrator or some other kind of design program and do your own thing with it. That's probably a little bit too advanced for all of us watching. Maybe there's like 1% of you who would use that. You have your base print pattern with the seam allowances. So they do 3/8 inch seam allowances on their patterns. You have the A4 size, you have the letter size, and you have what is traditionally known as an AO file that you will send off to a large format printer and they will print this for you. You also have a large format version of the base print pattern without seam allowances if you wanted to add your own. Something else I wanted to point out about this is the fact that this is like the full skirt pattern, right? So traditionally we're used to only having half of the skirt pattern and then cutting it on the fold. This is right front, this is left front. We really only need one of those. We know to fold the fabric in half and cut out 2 mirror images at once. Same thing with the back. That way you're not wasting paper printing. You're also not wasting paper and time taping together the pattern pieces for pattern pieces that are redundant. They did do trimless on the tiled pieces, so you won't have to trim anything. You'll just line them up and tape them. It goes obviously a million times faster doing it that way. Okay, so that is the gist on the pattern, on the download. Let me get this, my version, printed, taped together, cut, and sewn, and I will show you guys what my muslin of the Wildebloom Catherine looks like with all of my custom adjustments. You guys, am I seeing this right? This is the muslin that I made from the Catherine after putting in all of my measurements into the software. I didn't make a single other alteration. I didn't grade anything. I didn't draw anything on the pattern pieces at all. I just cut them out and sewed them up. And here's what I've got. One thing I want to point out, the fabric is a thrifted curtain. So this is a seam that was done as part of the curtain. So this is not part of the pattern. So ignore those lines. I mean, look at the bust. The bust darts, the length of them, the height of them. I think I was sold on this the moment that I put it on and could feel how well it fits. But the thing that's honestly blowing my mind, look at the back. Look at how it factored in what most people call a sway back. And there's no pulling. There's no pulling across my bum. There's not that, you know how whenever a skirt doesn't fit right, you get that like weird thing where it sticks out kind of like that? That's not happening. It's just going up and over all my curves, even my front curves. It's like accounted for those as well. All of the vertical lines, like my hip line, my waistline is hitting exactly at my waistline. I can't get over it. Here's a full shot of the back. Is this crazy? If I were gonna be super nitpicky, it would be across here. Now this could have been operator error and me just not taking the measurements correctly. I can fully accept that. However, it is a skosh tight through here, right? You can kind of see how it wants to like, I don't know, it feels a little bit tight here. And then also the shoulder placement, I think I need a bit of more in the back and less in the front. It's like kind of on the top, but not exactly. Can you see how the top of my shoulder is probably more like right here? Right? But I mean, we're very close. The what's it called? Arm side depth is also a little bit low. So here's the top of my sports bra. I'd want it to be maybe an inch taller. That's just being super nitpicky. Everything else is just like kind of blowing my mind. And honestly, if those were the only problems and I had to actually alter the pattern to fix those and I didn't have to fix anything else, I would have been thrilled with this pattern. But because this is a pattern company that is fitting first and you do all that work on the front end, you do expect a perfect fit in the end. So I am so close. It's really just from here up. It's crazy. Wow. 10 out of 10. Definitely recommend. Well, it is safe to say I am low-key obsessed. It's super impressive how intuitive the website is, how easy it is to use, and honestly, the real kicker is how well that first draft fits. It makes the idea of having custom fit patterns at home so much more accessible, especially if you're just now figuring out your ideal adjustments. There is certainly some room for growth with the patterns, like the cutting layouts and the instructions, but if you have a little bit of garment sewing experience and some patience, I think you will be okay and that you're gonna love it just as much as I do. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description box below. Big thanks to Wildebloom again for supporting this video and for giving us all something to be super excited about. They have set up an exclusive coupon code for 35% off of the Catherine Sheath Dress for the first 100 orders. Just enter the code on your screen at checkout.
And of course, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Were you as blown away as I was? But that's going to do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Bye!